Welcome to Big Hat Homestead. Today we are going to be harvesting one of our sweet potato beds. And to know how we got here, we need to go back to the beginning to where we started. The first thing we did was to plant our seed potatoes. All we did was put the potatoes in dirt and waited for them to grow. And once they start growing, what the potato is doing is producing the sweet potato slips that you need to actually grow the sweet potatoes. Once the sweet potato slips get at least 6 inches, you can harvest them and plant them in a bed to grow your sweet potatoes. I grew these slips over 39 days, and as you can see, they were bursting to get out of that container. I pulled each sweet potato slip off of the seed potatoes. There were 2 seed potatoes and a small chunk that produced all of these slips. 16 slips. Once I gathered the slips, I took them to the raised bed for planting. I put 9 slips in this 4x4 foot raised bed. I planted the sweet potato slips 1 foot apart, and the soil was 24 inches deep. The recommendation is 12 to 18 inches apart and 6 to 24 inches deep for planting. As you can see, these slips had very large roots, very healthy roots, and I believe that is why I was able to have a successful harvest. Since this was my first time growing this amount of sweet potatoes, I wanted to document it. I made weekly videos, a little snippet of how the sweet potatoes were doing. And this was the first week. I continued on, and as you will see, each week these vines became stronger and longer, and the bed was just overwhelmed with the amount of sweet potato vines. This sweet potato bed allowed these sweet potatoes to thrive. They loved this area. The sweet potatoes are taking over. And the only issue I had was I ended up spraying the leaves a couple times with some soap water, and that seemed to minimize any damage to the crops. And there was also this little rabbit that just loved my sweet potatoes, and I had to find a way to keep it out. Now that brings us to today, harvest day. 11 and a half weeks, 81 days. The recommendation is 90 to 120 days. However, I was seeing signs that the potatoes were mature. I'm going to harvest this bed. Here's why. There we go, one is poking out through the soil. I'm going to just get a good video of how big this vine has gotten. And got a little flower over there too. This is the sweet potato bed, number 1. I still have the second one over there. Hi, thank you for watching Big Hat Homestead. We're going to harvest these potatoes today. But first, I need to take you to my office. Here's my office. This is where the magic happens. I'm getting ready to pot up some things for fall. There are some of my starts. And that's what we're here for today, the sweet potatoes. Let's get into it. Okay, here are the sweet potatoes. We're going to see how they did. And I started having some flowering, and this one here is just showed up on top. So I have another bed. I'm going to leave that one for another 20 days, and we'll see the difference. Here we go. First, I'm going to pull this one up. And the others I'm going to cut the vines, and then we'll go in there with the fork. Here we go. And get them out of there. This is one plant right here. That's a nice sized potato. Very nice. Look at that. So these are definitely ready. Let me bring y'all closer. From that first plant, there's one right there. There we go. Look at that. This one's a little smaller, but still will do. The first plant. Okay, we're gonna dig up the rest of the first one, and then we're going to cut back all the vines. We'll do both at the same time. These are a little smaller. Those could be seed potatoes for next year. Nice. Very nice. Look at them. See, this is where it was planted at the top, and then they went down and out. And this is nine sweet potato plants. And I estimated about 4 per plant. Let's see if we get at least 36. And this is a 4x4 raised bed. See, I need a little bit more soil. These kind of got crooked. They didn't have enough room. So next time I'll just put 6 in this bed. I noticed is the soil was very loose, and I believe that helped the sweet potatoes to grow as large as they did. So if you have a raised bed or a container, whatever you're growing in, and you're reusing the soil, make sure to break it up and fluff it up so that those sweet potatoes will have room to spread out. Good. All of them. through the bed once again just to make sure we got all the sweet potatoes out. With the sweet potatoes, once you harvest them, you can go ahead and eat them right away if you're not going to need them for long-term storage. But if you were to cure them, they would get sweeter and the skins will harden and heal over to give you a better tasting sweet potato. Those are just some tips. It is recommended between 5 and 14 days. It just depends on how long you want to store the potatoes. I'll put a link in the description so you can see what applies to you in your area. And this is the drip irrigation system I use to water the sweet potatoes every other day. Okay, that's it for our first sweet potato bed. And do you want to know how many sweet potatoes we got? We got a ton of sweet potatoes. I was super surprised. I was expecting at least 36 from 9 plants. And we got, wait for it, 91 sweet potatoes in 81 days, which is 11 weeks. And about 60 of them are a pretty good size. I think that is a great harvest. Thank you for watching. If you like what you see and you'd like to see more of this content and other things as we grow our homestead, go ahead and subscribe. We are so excited on this journey. It is so rewarding to grow your own food and to learn better ways to improve your harvest. Stay tuned to the end. I have a little bonus on what I did with the sweet potatoes that just weren't strong enough to be cured. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Bye. Okay, and these are the potatoes that we're going to go ahead and cook right now. You know, they're a little beat up and we cut in them, so it's best to go ahead and use those right away. So I'll chop these up, clean them up, chop them up, and I'll show you what I came up with.